Yep.
Is your mic off?
Microphone's on as well.
Is it?
The soundtrack will be recorded, but the soundtrack can be turned down or raised if required. Aye.
So that'll save you around today.
Mm-hmm.
And does that come with the camera, or did you have to buy that?
Oh no, I bought that extra. I bought this from a friend actually. It looks new, but it's actually about 5 years old. Bought it for a tenner. It's a very good tripod.
Yes.
For a tenner, it's an excellent tripod. You can get about 30 or 40 quid. Something like that.
Yes.
I bought that recently. That was another 30 odd quid. It's got rather dusty. Not good for cleaning it. Not good for cleaning that. Just a little. More. This is very bad stuff to use up. Don't touch it right to your eye, but that's a telewider system, which once you get it close to your eye, gives you the feeling of being able to see round corners nearly. It's not quite like a fish eye, but it gets out that
I
way.
can see the hole of the pole, and
yeah,
it shouldn't.
Exactly.
Well, at least it seems to be in the tube.
That's right, yeah. That one that's fitted to the cine camera widens it out to 150 degrees for the video camera.
From what?
From about 17 mil. From about 45 degrees, I would think, roughly.
You do even at the
Hiya!
See the tube as well.
I don't know what it does that way. It's a thought.
Yes, it makes it look smaller.
Oh yeah, that magnifies that way. It also works as a oh, what dirty hands I have thing, you know. But you've got to be careful of that because you can catch the sun with this.
Yes.
If you do that, bang goes your tube. There's no doubt about it. You only catch the sun once. It's like, you know, it's like looking at sunspot through a telescope. If you don't get it right, you're blind. I will need to wind that up. We'll go.
So far that wire's never snapped.
So far that wire's never snapped. The frayed bit is at the very end.
My feet away and quick.
Well, the frayed bit's at the very end, and what we've done is to take the frayed bit well into the spool and never let it wind down low enough for the frayed bit to get anywhere near coming off the end of the drum. That's why we say always wind it up there. It'll go down to about here. If it goes down to about there, you're at risk.
Yes.
Keep it coming. Right, I know what I'm going to do. Oh, Robert,
We've got a problem with that dome, Ian. That was on Wednesday and it's sparking.
it's not anymore.
Is it not?
No, Paul greased it last night. I came up
So
with
that's not what it was,
That's not what it was, yeah. I said that the last time I was here, but at the present moment I'll stop the recording.
At least an hour and a half on the telephone. With,
No.
the night before. And at 6:15 he said got to be there for 6. He must have been hurrying. So almost, I'm 99% certain it was him.
Me and Neil went up on Wednesday, we put it on the sun
Yeah.
and we could only see one faint spot.
That's amazing because there's now
How long has
44.
that lot been there? How long has that
Well,
lot?
that lot has been developing over about a week.
A week.
And swinging
I
in.
don't know, we used a 50 times eyepiece and
Well, that's
where's
100.
see you've got Swift eyepieces in the
Yes.
actually find an adapter.
No, it's the black one.
So
It's the black
what black one?
metal one. I'll show you in a minute. Come round. I'm going to get some tea while I'm here. My sandwiches to
Is Paul coming tonight? I hope he's remembered to bring his projector for tomorrow.
I hope he hasn't.
I told him.
I hope he hasn't.
How?
Because I'm not going to Astra tomorrow.
Aye. No.
So there's no point in them bringing it out here
No,
to
it's
take
not
back.
what I mean. I hope he remembers to bring it tomorrow.
Oh,
for
aye.
that lecture on the space shuttle.
Yeah, we can tell him
Where I'm
that.
stuck.
I can't
I
manage
told him
to.
that not last week, the week before,
Yeah,
the last time I was in Astra. And he didn't turn up last week here, so I hope he's here this week.
Yeah. Wonder if I could step up that magnification briefly. Go. That is the adapter for Swift eyepieces. It's a photographic adapter, it's also the Swift adapter. That fits in there. And watch the camera if the screen when that presses onto the mounting, just what I'm going to do. So here we go for a change of eyepiece. No, we don't. Because if I change the eyepiece, no, we've got a white spot there and I burn out the TV camera. So we'll stop the tape recording again.
Yeah, I'll look at them.
opened in. Would you like to get out the car? I don't like going in and out at all. I'll never shoot.
Aye, you're alright.
In your car, aren't they?
You're perfectly alright.
Back seat and a rover's bag. And on the far side is a camera and a flash bulb and a flash gun in an envelope. Bring that up.
You want the camera and the flash bulb and the photographs, they're all in the one
Flash
bag.
bulb, electronic flash.
Aye, I know, I've seen it, aye. They're all in
They're all in
one.
the bag at the far end of the
A
seat.
rover's
My-
bag.
My rear seat's just a pile of junk. If you like, you can bring up the aerosol oil can, which is also in
Where's
the back
that?
seat.
Where's that?
But see when you go in the driver's door, just behind the driver's door is a rover's bag. Don't crush it because that's the album. It's all in the album. Right. But you hold it up here, and on the other side of the seat, next to the wall, the far side of the seat from the driver's door, on the back seat is an envelope, an open envelope, not strong enough, it might tear if you hold it like that, and you just hold it underneath.
What's it? You want that?
Look
envelope
at
up, you want the
that.
rover
There's a
bag?
complete active area developing on the sun, which wasn't there 5 hours ago.
The camera and the electronic flash gun and the aerosol oil can.
We'll go down to it.
See that wee group of spots up there?
It doesn't matter. Not what use that, we'll show you what. It goes on that.
I'm about to have my supper. You see that wee group of spots up there? Those weren't there 6 hours ago.
Oh.
Not
Well,
at
I've seen
all.
them now.
Nothing.
I'm looking at the black marks.
And
Dull
now
marks.
there's one dark
I
spot
wish I got them.
down there,
Yeah,
and there's about
shooting
3, 4 or 5 extra ones.
Robert. Do you like getting a Coca-Cola? Do you like to go to the chip shop and get a Coca-Cola? Oh, yeah. Yes, I've got it. Like a sweet name?
No, I'm going to have some tea. You quite come with it. If you want to take a chair and I'll do some tea. Aye, that's amazing. This is really on the
You probably
research
seen
side.
about these, they weren't there 6 hours ago.
Not there 6
Seven
hours
come
ago.
up.
I've never seen sunspots rise in 6 hours before. The sun is not revolved, no, because it takes about a month to revolve roughly. The groups that were where they were before are still approximately in the same place. I can't in 6 hours detect any actual movement in those without, say, making pictures and overlapping them and checking them against the edge. I haven't tried doing that. It might be possible to compare video frames a separate distance apart and see what they look like. Certainly it would be possible, obviously, from the excellent results here.
Now,
You can make drawings
You're
of
too high now. Do you notice?
that's okay. Yeah, that is true. I'm a bit kind of hard.
I thought you missed the one you were pointing out before.
I might well be, yes. Thank you. I must have bumped it or moved it just a
Maybe
bit.
I think that's probably it because it was closer in, I thought, before when I was looking at it close up. You're back last night, is it?
Oh, it's a tripod. I'm not unclamping it to do it, no, so. Moving it round or something, that will do. Just now, I'm going to eat. I'm shattered. Absolutely shattered. Oh, it's fruit tin. You know what that is? A cake tin.
I use them for sponges.
I've got 4 holes in there. God, who's this for then? Unless we get a chance to eat them or something. I know what I'm going to open first. My milk.
Do you feel the heat? It's killing me, you know. I feel it.
I suffer very badly from the heat because I sweat so much. And the sweat rots all the vital parts of your body.
It's making me yawn at times, so it must be making me sleepy. I've stretched far too often today, I didn't realise it additionally. Does that milk hold good long? On a day like this?
This will keep for weeks normally,
Uh-huh.
but in heat it will keep for maybe a few days.
Well, I got a nice drink today, and a Coca-Cola drink. What are you going to use the motor for? I mean, you're always here, and that's a bigger telescope.
That, plus that, plus that, plus the 6-inch
all
saw,
at once.
plus the driver and the car, you want somewhere with a hole inside.
Well, what's your battery, remember?
Black.
Is it 5 ampere?
But what I'll do, remember is I'll take a spare battery.
You have to
I'll bring a spare battery back, recharge it with the battery charger at home afterwards. This, of course, all runs off its own batteries. There's the battery for the video, and the video powers the camera, and the TV's got its own batteries.
Do you know anybody who's got an Able 8 meter that can put in series of one of the leads with a positive lead?
How much?
Pardon?
How much?
That would cost you maybe £30, would it? 50? Whew.
Yeah. 12 volt 3 ampere hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you do, don't short that.
Whatever you're on, don't drop it.
Oh no.
That's
It's lead acid.
batteries and anything.
It's lead acid, so if it breaks, you know, it'll go through the floor and...
But they break internally when you don't see any harm on the outside.
Yeah.
Then they shut themselves out. But you don't
You've
just
got to
lose,
protect
you
them from
lose your
extreme heat
amperes.
and cold. You mustn't let them
Now,
freeze.
I'll tell you something
You
about
must let
that.
them boil.
What current are you going to draw from it?
Well, minimal, it's about a tenth of an amp or something like
Tenth
that.
of an amp, which is 0.1. So you divide 0.13 by 0.1 and you get 30 hours. That's the maximum time you'll get from a full charge. And if you take that battery...
No, it only lasts an hour, so it must be a...
An hour would be 3 amps. Full charge. But there's something to be careful of that. If you put a wee meter across it,
I can't, I'm not going to risk it, no.
no, but if you put an ordinary voltmeter across it, wait, I can tell you something about it. See, those batteries are too expensive to waste. I can get some for nothing. Not that type for nothing, but I can get some for nothing. I'll show you something. Oh, I walked right across
It's alright, walk back, no bother. Alright. Well done. There's no problem because it's a blink. I mean, you get the same with a burn through past the sun or whatever. It can be anything now because I've got 2 units. I've got a main unit as well as the...
I'm not trying to insult you and tell you you already know this.
Oh no, not in the slightest. I'm eager to find out anything that's relevant. Hello Ian, we're videotaping sunspots.
Pardon? Do that again?
We are videotaping sunspots.
Oh boy.
44 sunspots on the sun. A complete group appeared from nowhere in 6 hours.
Lovely.
Yeah. Thought occurs to me, which means I will stop the videotaping and take that eyepiece out because if I don't, the whole file will be running. Drop the aperture. Tilt it up a bit.
Would you recommend using like if you get the TV with you, using that and like a line in it, you know, like that, using the TV rather than the eyepiece? I don't know what your eyepiece is like. This is a new camera, isn't it?
I'm not with you.
Yeah, would you rather say look at the TV screen and you move it,
kill his
or look through
camera.
that?
I know that.
That's not worth looking through because it's not a high resolution cathode ray tube because it's only taking direct information from the camera. That's giving it amplified information. See, it won't magnify because there's duff quality to magnify. Now, easy, you're on the wire.
Ian, will I take a picture of
Wait a minute. You're going to take a flash picture.
Aye.
I'll be one to 3 of us
Now.
people.
If you're going to take a flash picture, I will stop the recording. Correction, I am now taking material.
Take a picture. Is that camera off? He's
The
going
videotape is on.
Well, really, he was wondering whether you want a flash of yourself and him with
Tell you what, up the roof,
What?
beside the dome.
Who's going to go up there?
What for?
No, he's wanting to take a picture of me. If I go up there, he could take a picture of me beside
Why doesn't it take a picture of you looking at the sunspots?
Because I'll knacker your camera.
No, I won't. I'll stop it.
Right, stop it.
This thing, you slide this along until you see both red dots, like you do there. They're both red triangles, but you have to push that wee button down to get it to do that. Now don't slide it sideways because I set it right.
What
But
you
aim at
said,
the light.
Aye.
Now did you see the two ring? But slide it along and you'll see one of them disappear.
Which way?
Anyway, because there's only one place that's going right.
Why?
The two going together.
And these days with
And
electronic
that's the
cameras,
right
TV
exposure.
cameras and clockwork
See?
telescopes.
So,
That's two on together there. But it'll be different up the top.
It'll be
You're going to
different
take
on
me
top.
on one of my side and the side.
right.
That's good.
The slipper, so once you've done it with the hands, it's quite tight. Now,
Well, but that isn't the way it squeaks. Incredible, you know, I really haven't seen the sun spotty as that for a long while. And the fact that the sunspots have appeared, I really think that could be a flare. And it's actually had the repercussions of creating sunspots. I think it could be a massive outburst. And just possibly that we might be able to look for aurora tonight, tomorrow night. Aye,
Aye, it is a lovely day.
isn't it just?
I hope it keeps up. Maybe have something to do with these sunspots.
It may well, I don't know. Talking about it's easy, proving it's hard. The thing you can do with this is, if you look at the TV, you see that? You can highlight the spots by dimming down the rest of the picture.
Yeah.
See the brilliance range? You can draw those sunspot groups from the images produced from the telescope on the video camera. You don't have to draw them at the telescope. Aye, it's really something. I'm going to have to take that eyepiece out. See how it's going to go brown at the top? That's heat. Wait a minute. Yeah, because if you take that out, take it sideways and it catches your finger as you go by, you just go right across your finger. There, it's through there. Heat on that element. It must have been reflecting off the backside there, back onto that.
You switch that off?
I didn't. But luckily I'd moved it. I'd left that on the sun, I'd have lost the video camera just now.
anybody's way.
A frothy video camera would be a unique thing, but it would be rather
TV
messy.
shop I had, they used to run up the stairs with one in each hand, you know. And he keep his own nice and steady, of course.
Oh yeah,
So
so
one
shake
day
the other
he
hand
got
up to
three up.
Yeah.
And he said he wasn't distracted, he carefully gave the right one to somebody else. He put them both down by me and he was called to the manager, so I swapped the two cans over.
Oh,
The three of the wee buggers went and sat down 3 stools next to each other. He goes and opens his and oh sorry.
okay.
He goes and opens his and it goes because he turns around and the thing goes over the two of them over again.
Yeah. Look at that. That's like Mars with active volcanoes, isn't it?
I didn't admit I swapped the cans over. I knew very well what
But he wasn't happy looking after that.
No, he didn't know. He thought it was a mistake. But somebody else knew. The manager knew for one thing.
Oh, look at that, Tony. Look at that group. Amazing.
Photograph it if you think you can.
You thought that was good. Look at that one.
Yes. Do you want to photograph them both? I mean,
I'll try it if you like for you. Yeah.
right, it's on the chair. I didn't think you'd have enough light there to do it, you know, because that isn't high speed film. That's ordinary, or it could have drawn two.
Yes, but that's a very, very bright source now.
Is it? It looks very dull to me, you know. Your picture's still running. Oh, it's okay because you're not.
Okay, I'm not in there. That's down, so I can only take one.
You're best to hold it against your brow when you squeeze because I find it tends to jerk. I messed one up in the book, so blabbed. And these are very small sources, isn't they?
Oh, put it back down.
Right. Have you switched it off?
Yes, I've put that along to the end to show
Because these are new batteries. See, See it, the underground, I had to wait about 2 minutes before the charge, before the thing would flash up.
Now,
I meant to find out which battery had failed me, because I suspect sometimes putting it into the cover slips the button over. But then even so, it shouldn't be on unless you press the button.
centre. Gonna have to replace the string on the right section, fine adjustments, so it's beginning to get frayed.
See, when people look at that and don't know what they're looking at, they'll wonder what it is, won't they?
Yeah, but imagine that on a 26-inch screen instead of a 6-inch one.
You can actually do that on it.
Of course you can. I mean, that will replay through anything.
My.
Then you can see the umbra and the penumbra and the sunspots from here on that screen. Think what that's going to be like on a home TV screen. And if you
I
want,
didn't consider that. I thought you were
if you want a
stuck
little
with
bit
camera.
more impressiveness, if you take the colour down,
Mhm.
you can see even more.
But it shows up the dot now.
Shows up the dust all the time, yeah.
Does it?
Just gonna put that back, if you see what I mean.
Am I making the camera shudder?
Not the slightest. That's it.
I didn't think of that until I felt the floor move.
No problem. The telescope vibrates as well when people move around, but there's no problem with video because the video isn't doing 25 frames a second more or less, you know.
Of course,
It's taking out an awful lot of that kind of motion.
Can you see flares in that kind of setup?
No, because
Even if they're on the perimeter?
no, because we can't blot out enough of the sun's light. We
Oh.
need a hydrogen alpha or a sodium. A hydrogen alpha or a calcium filter or a helium light system, I think, to be able to see things like
By the
that.
way, the kind of batteries I was talking about were a nickel cadmium. So that's not nickel cadmium.
No, that's lead acid.
That's a different thing. You
yes,
can handle them
lead
an awful
acid.
lot more as a rule.
Well, they
Unless
say
you drop
don't drop them, don't put them on a fire or blow up,
Drop
get
them
poison
all.
fumes off.
If you drop
Well,
it once, you can never rely on it again.
That's right.
Because I'm one of the few people that don't refuse to do batteries in the wireless section. And believe it or not, I've learned a great deal from them.
I mean, look at that, it's like Mars with the 3 big volcanoes, isn't it? When you look at it, the 3 in a row like that. Equally spaced sunspots.
What makes it perfect?
Dun dun dun
colour?
dun.
Aye. It looks like giant footprints.
Yes.
There's no projector downstairs and there's no screen downstairs.
There should be.
There isn't it? And the seats are all set out in almost like desks. Like school desks, so a desk and a chair.
Oh boy.
No, I'll give you a hand to shift it now in a minute. As soon as I can get rid of the can.
Unless we just do some solar work.
Well, it's just in case no Neil was home.
You see, I'm very nearly finished. Is that running, that videotape?
Aye, it's running.
That's good. I'm very nearly finished videotaping.
And you don't always get such a good day for it.
This is true. I mean, this is really first class.
Wednesday
The
was
damnation of it
glorious,
is, I forgot to bring in the close-up lens, which would let me take this camera up to here and zoom right into sunspots and back.
You could
Means
actually,
there's more to do.
you could actually magnify the sunspot then.
Yes. Yes.
And how would it look?
Well, instead of seeing that area here on,
Yes.
on the screen, you'd be able to look at just, say, about the area of that sunspot group by zooming into it. But you need the close-up lens, the Galileo lens,
No projector.
because you're very shallow depth of field with a microscope. And because that's tilted over, got to be tilted over, because you can't have this camera exactly parallel to the telescope.
Yes.
Fine.
Good. I thought that.
Hold a sec. I want to come round and have a look and see, because you see the white area that's now got sunlight on it, it might overexpose a little. I'll correct that attitude auto as well.
I see, you've got to set it. It could overexpose itself, could it?
It's overexposing now actually, I just took that down a little.
How do you know it's overexposed?
Well, in the viewfinder at the moment there's a green light which is correct exposure and yellow is underexposure below. Yellow is overexposure above and green. If it goes yellow only, then you've got to stop it down. If it goes yellow only below, you've got to open it up.
Oh, I see.
But if it's just about that point there with the green only on and neither of the yellows, you're dead right for exposure.
The red one just shows you're on.
The red one just shows that the taping is taking place.
Oh, I see.
If you stop it, when you stop it, that shows that you are live. It's like the red light on a TV
I see
studio.
the plus and minus now.
The plus and minus as well, yeah. It's a really good system, and it's a very high quality system compared to a lot of the other stuff that's been on the market for a while. Okay, it's been surpassed now by Sony, who's got a high sensitivity camera out, but
Is it a high sensitivity price too?
Oh yeah,
not,
that's
unfortunately.
The Leeds Astronomical Society journal is a thing. In 1975, somebody took a video-con television camera and recorded a meteor shower.
Oh, the bum, that's what I was coming on to. I was talking about that last night.
And I knew there was something I forgot to bring to show you.
By the way, there's one of the cones. I can't remember which one, but somebody's got a video recording of one of the cones.
A Bob Shaw getting marmalised.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm in the background all the time, going, yay! Whatever. Yeah. There we go.
It may be compatible with yours.
Does that mean that the sunspots
Could
will neither shift nor come up while you watch, or could you suddenly see a sunspot appear?
Well, this is the thing, you know, I didn't believe sunspots could rise in less than, say, a few days.
Well, it takes as
Now,
long as that, does it?
That's what I thought. I think that group has appeared in a few hours.
Has it?
Now that surprises me.
Yes.
I need to check up further. But if that can happen, then continuous monitoring of the sun on videotape will show visual light developments.
Uh-huh.
Now that would be interesting.
Can you time lapse on that machine? Or is it
You can time lapse but not time exposure. In other words, there's a remote sensor there's a remote socket on the videotape, which means that you've got a microphone, say, instead of the microphone in the camera. You can switch the microphone off and it will switch the taping machine off and on, instead of using the camera switch.
You can
Now,
do it automatically.
You can do that automatically by simply wiring a socket into that with an intervalometer and a clock. So you can take sequences at intervals without any problem.
Yes.
But if you do that with this and the intervals between them is any longer than 5 minutes, then it will switch off for the safety circuitry. Right?
What are they going to do?
Aye, with a mains unit it can be up to 15 minutes before the safety circuitry switches it off because it's got better quality protection on the video heads. This is obviously liable to at times draw on batteries, hence the shorter time. Thanks, Ian. See the vibration on the image on the TV caused by winding up the scope there? It's only fractional, but it shows that the whole thing is sort of vibration dependent. That's your sunspots now on TV, live. That's what they look like. And the sun is very spotty.
What's the spots and what's the blemishes?
Well, that's quite easy. Everything that doesn't move is a spot. Got the idea? The really dark.
He's got the adapter on it. It was a black thing.
I just went back a new phone on Monday and Tuesday.
I wasn't here on Monday.
Right.
Right. On Tuesday, I was delivering and assembling that, which was a one-man job because it's dead easy. I had less than an hour to do it. I did it in 55 minutes and I was away. So I phoned you up, would have taken quarter of an hour by the time I found a phone that was working because the two at the police station there weren't. I was trying to phone somebody else and I couldn't get a chance to use the library phone because everybody here was on it. But as I say, I was just dumping the stuff and away and I had no intention of working on it that night. Also, I had no intention of observing because the dome motor was sparking, the dome wasn't.
Yeah, it was spanking a lot. We were up here on Wednesday.
Yeah, well, Paul was up on Thursday night.
I know.
He's grazed it,
Contacted me.
and I was delighted to find that when I came out today because I was going to do it myself today. But saying she's done it fine. Now, well, we look around some sunspots. There's that group of a couple of big ones and about half a dozen to a dozen wee ones. And then, like Mars, we come past the 3 big volcanoes. As you will see very shortly.